He's already smoking. You look fucked up.
For a gang car, that thing loud as shit.
Yeah.
At least you know it's coming, right?
Yeah. We don't do subtlety, right? So.
Yeah. You okay?
I'm a bit sick.
I gotcha. I hope you start feeling better soon.
Why are we doing the same lean? Fuck's sake, Chris. Good shit. Good guy. Don't do the same lean. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Thank you
Fuck's sake.
for I guess stopping by the hospital. I appreciate it. Probably more than you know, but
I'm not doing it.
it was not something I was expecting. So
Don't mention it. It's alright.
I reread your note a couple times trying to make sense of everything.
Alright.
And I know that you mentioned it was TJ's.
No.
Or given to?
Similar to.
Similar to. It was passed down, essentially.
Not necessarily, no. It's mine. I had it made. Well, I got it and I had it engraved and put on it. I mean, I don't know how to make sense of it, but I would give you the whole fucking spiel, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's why I wanted this conversation, though, is because I think the way that Ziggy worded it to me is that it had special value to TJ. And it made me realize that I knew TJ and I respected TJ, but I didn't know TJ. And I'm assuming there's value in this. And I think to understand its sentiment, I feel like you're the only person I could talk to about it. And I don't know how much time you have, but I'd love to know more about it.
All right. Did you have any involvement in Sanguine? Okay.
When Sanguine started, I went into work one day. There was a gentleman who walked in, stood in front of a meeting room of about 60
but I don't
of
remember
us,
the details of it.
and said, "Today, you've all been enlisted. Today, you all go to war. and we were told that we were going to gear up and go to war. And I made the point to everybody that once we found out where the war was, the sell point that was drilled into us was that Sanguine provides stuff to this island that is beyond repairable if able to make it here. And I stood my ground and told everybody that I was hired to be a police officer, and I was hired to do my job to the best of my ability. Nowhere in my job description did it ever state I was to be enlisted in a war that I didn't ask for, off an island that I had no involvement in, an island that had seceded from this place. I made the point that there is no way that I was going to go, and that the only time I will get involved is if it shows up at my front door. If something touches foot on this island that should not be here, that's what I was hired to do. I wasn't hired to go knock on someone else's door. And I stood by that moral, and I respected anybody who went, and I respected anybody who fought. But there's a part of me that does feel like the aggressor in that started with the old police department and our corrupt, broken government. And there's two sides to that, but that's the side that I stood on.
All right.
Okay if I smoke?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. You want a cigarette?
No, I'm alright. Should you be smoking? I don't give a
No.
fuck if you do, but
No, I shouldn't be. In fact, the doctors told me not to.
well.
I'll be honest, it's either that or the addiction I had to morphine because they jacked me up on it for 2 days. And I told everybody that you'll either take the cigarettes or you'll take me breaking down the hospital looking for a bottle of morphine. So I picked my poison.
All right. Right, well, yeah, we don't need to go into a deep dive of what the fuck happened in Sanguine. From my perspective, it was so long ago, and all of it's a bit of a fucking mess anyway.
I think we can all agree with that.
What it came down to was there was a last stand in the villa. Everybody went down to the bunker, and I'm not 100% if this is actually, I don't know really what happened, but this is what was told. Most people went down to the bunker. I didn't. I stayed up. I took down as many people as I could. They came smashing through the front gates with 2 APCs and a tank. I was in a gunfight with someone on the stairs near like a, I don't know what you call it, like a guard tower. And I guess I peeked the stairs. Someone was there. I took 3 bullets to the chest, fell back, and cracked my head off the wall. I was as good as dead because what I was told, I was on the ground for near enough an hour and a half, 2 hours without any real medical treatment, and then just kind of got through it in surgery. But
I'm glad.
the caveat was I woke up in prison scared and alone and not knowing much of anything of what happened or why I was there or what club I was in, who I was engaged to. I knew nothing. I thought I was back home. I don't know, I was a teenager. I don't know, I thought I got banged up doing some stupid shit and was just, you know, in overnight back in Ireland and Dublin, but I looked down and there was a cut that I was using as a pillow, dried blood on it, holes in the middle of it, where honestly where the bullets went through. And yeah, I didn't remember anything. You know what it's like for people to say your name and know things about you and you have no idea who they are?
I know it on a level way deeper than you probably know. And it is a terrifyingly sad experience, especially for your own fathers to look at you and tell you about all these things that you've accomplished and done,
Oh my god.
and knowing that you accomplished and knew about them, but never remembering them being a part of your life.
Similarities.
And it goes deeper than that. But yes.
Hmm. Well, that's what I came to the stark realization that I was not a teenager, that I was not in Dublin. And I couldn't remember anything. All these people coming up to me in prison. And you can tell that they care. You can tell that they're visibly and emotionally like just upset seeing the way that you are. And I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I avoided them. Then the only place that I could go in that fucking shit heap was a small garden with a bench underneath a cherry blossom tree. I just sat there because it's the only place where it wasn't just pure quiet. Because when it was quiet, I could just hear pure white noise. And I don't know, stuff that it was like I was remembering stuff, but I couldn't remember it. And it kept me up at night. I didn't sleep for days. first thing I remembered. First thing I remembered, I was at a checkpoint. There was nothing but explosions. And I turn around to move back a little bit. And I see Aubrey. You remember Aubrey?
What was Aubrey's last name?
Adams.
Yes.
I see her running across the dirt trail. And she catches a bullet in the neck or the head and poof of blood out the other side and she drops dead. Dead center. Right in the line of sniper fire, tanks, all that. The first thing that I remember is the puff of smoke, or the puff of blood, which was basically smoke coming out of her head. And she survived, and I had to live with the fact that she was in there and I couldn't do anything. She was in the prison with me, and I had the guilt that I couldn't get to the middle of the road to get her out of that. Yeah, I started remembering a few things, but I couldn't make head nor tail of it in sense or anything. Couldn't sleep, couldn't focus. The only thing that barely got me through any of it was the fucking cherry blossom tree.
You felt helpless.
I don't know what I felt, dude. I don't fucking know. I don't remember the exact details, but
Those feelings were the feelings that I felt the day I walked off. Let me correct myself. Walked back on the island. And I walked down a dirt road. And I saw my fathers look at me and ask if I was okay. And the only thing I knew what to say was, "Hello, sir. Can I help you?" And as years went on, I learned from a lot of people. And funny enough, one of my most recent conversations, that people called me a hero for something that I don't remember. That I did something so selfless, keep the people I care about safe. That what I did was so invaluable to anything I've done. Yet in the same sentiment, John, I don't remember my own brother at a funeral that I don't remember attending. And that is a demon that continues to haunt
Nice
me to
Shang
this
with the
day.
fucking chop.
And I don't share that with many people. Whatever you were feeling that day.
One sec.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yo, is emergency?
If you want to do a chop as an emergency.
Fuck off.
Okay, fine.
Sorry.
You're fine. The feelings you had that day are very similar feelings to what I had then.
It wasn't just that day, but okay.
And every once in a while are feelings that I have now.
You don't even.
The
I've
thought of
only,
having to relearn
I've only just started flop.
about the people that I apparently grew up and got to know is all I have left. I don't even remember my own parents, the people who raised me, where I lived. I remember glimpses of childhood, but I don't remember who raised me, what they look like, their names. This place, John, is all I have left. People I meet, people I know are the only things that I get to call friends and family. And you don't realize what you lose until you no longer have it. And in my case, no longer even know it. And I think I resonate with you on your feelings more than you probably know.
Yeah, I don't question that. I think you get the gist of what I was going through in those, however long it was. I don't remember when exactly, but TJ, when was by the fence near visitation? I don't remember. He gave me his pocket watch that I think Finn got him. To help me, I guess just to help me. Because it helped him.
Who's that, TJ or Finn?
TJ.
Hmm.
The ticking of the pocket watch kept TJ sane. Kept him in one mind, I guess. And he gave that to me. And the first night he gave that to me, I slept. And every night I had it, I slept. So, when I felt like I could get through the rest of the shit, I gave it back to him. And the nature, I guess, in the tree. Kept me going for the rest of it. So, when the Rico and everything happened, I got sent to prison and sent back to Ireland and was in prison then, I started feeling the same way. I started losing it. I don't trust those memories. I don't trust really any of my memories. Because when I'm not focused on something or doing something, all my memories start to stack up on one and I can't take them apart. That's why I got the watch.
The value of the noise a watch makes, and there's no pun intended with the verbiage with this, but that is a timeless sound. It's a constant, it's consistent.
As long as that watch ticks, well, so will I.
I can assure you that it is ticking. And the last 2 nights, I have had thoughts of sleeping with a gun under my pillow because of what happened to me. And I have instead had that watch under my pillow. And the reason I have it under my pillow is because when my head is resting, I hear the faintest noise of that watch. And whether it was intended or not, I have come to find comfort in its sound. And I thank you for that.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. And I promise you that when I am finally comfortable, to move forward in life and to not be scared of what is out there right now and for what has gotten me, it will be back in your hands. and that watch will still be working. And you have my word for that.
Right.
I appreciate you sharing. I guess your backstory with me,
The lore.
as I know what it's like to describe and talk about trauma. And it eventually gets easier to explain. But it's essentially a scar that will always be there. And it takes someone courageous and willing to share that with somebody who, respectfully, maybe you either don't know, or in my case, I'm on a very different side of each other's aisle.
Still on that side plot?
Not much longer.
Hmm. Silence is the best answer.
I think I'll know that answer when that day comes. I don't think that's an answer that's set in stone. But the last 72 hours of my life have been some of the most defining I've ever lived and I've had to express. I'm assuming you know what happened with me.
Yeah, I mean, vaguely. I don't know what they specifically did to you. I know that you were picked up by Hydra because PD issues or whatever the fuck the idiots were doing. And you were picked up as an example, I guess.
I won't bore you with the whole story, but I will say this much. When who I suspected was Miguel, who I was speaking to, they brought me up to the nudist camp after I was in the back of a trunk. And while he was expressing his problems with the police department, I stopped him and asked to make a phone call. And I had called Etta. Our last conversation was not one that I would say was a memorably good one. So I wanted to make things right by telling her that I loved her and to let her know that I hope to see her sometime soon. And she panicked,
Classic.
and I'm assuming she called the people she needed to. but I told her that I couldn't tell her where I was, but she tried to tell me she was going to pick me up. And I called to say goodbye because I was certain, Sean, that those were going to be my last moments. And they loaded me in the trunk of a car, and who I thought was Miguel said to me, "You know, Flop, the best version of you was when you were a park ranger. And earlier to that, he had also stated that I was one of the good cops and one of the only good ones. And when they popped the trunk, I was looking at a mountain lion. And I went to walk up to her, and there was a split second of decision as to if I had a chance to run. And I looked behind me and I saw a gun aimed at the back of my head. It's a good thing that I had a lot of experience dealing with mountain lions. But I will tell you now that if I had been shot, I don't think we'd be having this conversation.
You know, that's it.
No. It's
Sure.
okay.
No one's gonna freak out.
I'm gonna call her back. That was Rue.
Alright.
Um I look at today as a second life. I've been given a second chance. I'm scared to go to work. And I'm scared to face a lot of fears after what happened. But to answer your question, I think I will know when I'm ready. And I think that time is sooner than people think.
Yeah, it's probably in the next 5 minutes and I'm done with you. Alright, Flop. Let's have a serious conversation about this.
Mm.
Right? Because I don't know if you want to take time to think about it, or if you need someone who's actually going to be brutally honest with you. Because I don't think you're surrounded with people who are going to do that. Just in all honesty, people who maybe care about your well-being. Some people who have how do I word this? Their own version of their own morality. I want to put something in perspective. You almost died because somebody was fucking around on the job. You didn't die for your own morality. You didn't die, or nearly die, sorry, doing what you believed in. Okay, you didn't. You nearly died not even on the job.
Mm.
We had that like conversation in the yard months ago about the badge and what it means. Clearly that badge means fucking nothing to a lot of people.
That's what I learned.
Yeah. And when that badge means a lot more to you, you're going to be the main target. You're going to feel the repercussions from all of that. And I guarantee you, the people who are fucking around and doing dumb shit. Unless they're compelled to, they're not showing up to your funeral, Flop. They'll hear you died how you died. Maybe they'll throw a nice picture of you up on the meeting room whiteboard or some shit. And then they'll go about fucking around until the next cop dies, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Cops dying for getting on job feeling that they will die for what they believe in, and then they die because someone's a fucking idiot. Is that what you wanted to be known as? You lose your life because Hydra have an issue with Denzel Shicey or Jeffrey Bones? Fuck me, if I died for that, Jesus Christ. I'd hope no one fucking remembers me.
The reality of what you've put forward is 1,000% true. And the conversation I've had with Ziggy and the conversation I've actually had with Rue was me venting and asking people how I could be one of the good ones, according to who I thought was Miguel. And still be in the crossfire. And I think I
real quick, let's just correct you on something. You will not be in the crossfire, Flop. You will be a target. Because at the end of the day, to these people, to these gangs, to these clubs, cops are cops. Doesn't fucking matter if you're a good one.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. Is that I learned that in that moment. And that's something that you hear people talk about, but I think you need to experience it before you actually see it. You could be hyped up as a good cop, as one of the good ones. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Because no matter how good of a face I put on for people, I'm still just a cop. And I learned the harsh truth that everything that you said is right. There's a reason I haven't been to work in almost a week. And if I do ever walk back in that building, my mindset's going to be different. But the truth be told, Sean, is that I've given my change of life more decision in the last 2 days than I've ever given with my own 2 feet on this island.
Do you remember Lovesick? You would have been a ranger with you, right? At some point?
I was his boss at one point. He was a ranger.
He worked for the PD a couple months ago.
Yeah.
You know why he quit?
I know he quit. I don't know why though.
Funny enough, because I was just talking to him the other day. He was telling me about it. He told me what led to him making that decision. He was on a scene. He said he was standing by a car. And he was dealing with an old colleague of his. I think he said it was a friend as well. I think he didn't say his name. He was going to severe PTSD. It must have been, I think he said it was from Sangre. It was something. But severe PTSD episode. Crazy. Didn't have a gun in his hand. Didn't have a weapon. Didn't have a wrench. Didn't have a knife. Nothing. He's having this episode in public, and Lovesick's there with him on duty, trying to calm him down. And there's a bunch of other units around, all guns drawn, pointed at this guy. This poor guy going through God only knows what. His memory's all messed up, and like we've just talked about it, you and I don't know what that's like. And he's trying to calm him down. And this guy swings at Lovesick. And just punched him. Or pushed him.
A colleague?
The guy having the episode. And every officer opened fires on that guy. With Lovesick in the crossfire. And they kill the guy. And they send Lovesick to the ICU. Lovesick gets out of the ICU. Still dry blood in his beard and, you know, not feeling great. He walks in and the first thing that happens, or the main thing that happens, was he was questioned why his paperwork wasn't being done. No, like, you alright? How you feeling? Nobody went to see him. Nobody from the PD went to see him. I don't think they even knew he was out of the ICU. Could have been dead. Could have been dead. Wow. And they wouldn't have even known. Wouldn't even known. Even though it was the cops that shot him. But he got a second chance at life. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Similar to yourself, like you said, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. Now he's my hang-around.
And I guarantee you he'll be treated way better than how the PD treated him. Could you do me a favor?
Sure.
Would you be willing to pass my number, this number that I called you from, to Lovesick?
I could.
I'd love to talk with him.
not meant to know he's a hanger in now.
I'm not meant to know.
Nope.
That's fine. I don't know anything. I haven't seen him in God knows how long.
So why do you do it? Why, what's making you... What's making you think that... God, I want to go back to these guys? Is it the... It's clearly not the people. I don't think you're stupid enough to tell me that. I don't think you're stupid enough to say... Yeah,
Fuck
it's...
no.
It's...
It was never about the people.
Yeah, it's the... It's what you can do with the badge, right? It's what... The change you can do. Or the impression you can... The good impression you can make.
I don't think it's to do with the good
No?
for anybody. I think for me, it's putting the people aside. It's putting the job aside. And taking the good that I have, the good that I know, and doing what I know is right with it. And a lot of that falls under my morals.
Morals, perfect. We're into the morals. Fantastic.
That is inherently why I do the job. Even I know, in the position of command and in the position of having to look after everybody, I know how little people are valued and how much the job is prioritized over the emotions of others. Which is why I do the job for me. And the point that I questioned specifically was that even labeled as a quote unquote good one, I'm still a target. Now, I think I may have talked myself out of a bullet because the other 6 people couldn't. But that doesn't change the idea that my value in the eyes of others didn't matter. And that is my current dilemma. And out of the various conversations I've had with various people,
I just want to say, Chan, I'm not pausing nearly as enough, like as much
points
as he
you've
is.
made in the last 5 minutes
I'm not even done yet.
are more of a reality than you'd ever know.
Oh, I know.
Because you are not wrong about any of them.
Trust me, I know. That's why we're still talking.
There's a reason I haven't run back since coming out of the ICU. I told you the time I lost my family. And when I got out of the ICU, I told my lieutenant that I would be taking time away and that I want to recover and that I want to be with my family. And she told me that the job is secondary and that my family comes first. And I've taken that to its fullest degree. I think I'm past the bad impressions with the PD, Sean. I think I'm past the idea of if they're going to fire me, they need a damn good reason. I think I'm past the putting my foot down and telling them my way or the highway. They think I'm gonna know when it's time.
Oh, he thinks I'm done with him. This is fantastic. No, we're not done, Flop.
Next time I put that
We're
uniform
not
on
done, Flop. We're not done.
is probably not going to be anything like the last time I ever wore that badge. And I have
Let me just go throw.
zero plans on staying where I am.
Let me he's gonna throw the uniform on and shoot cops, because that's what that sounds like.
I can't. And I won't. But if I'm going to leave, it's going to be on good terms. And terms are not hard to set.
I don't know where he's going with this.
That won't take a lot of time. But I do think it's worth. I have some conversations with people like Lovesick, people like Louise Campbell,
No, God, no.
people like Kit Archer.
Right, I'm gonna be honest with you, Flop. And maybe I'm wrong.
I'm not.
Maybe I'm wrong, right? But there's another point I need to make on it. But look, you're talking to me, and I'm going to give you still some more harsh realities. I can already tell you what Lovesick's going to tell you. If you want to talk to him, by all means. I think talking to the rest of them is a waste of time, because you're going to be talking to disgruntled cops that did not feel wanted, that felt neglected, or maybe had a coming of age moment where they realize, hell, these people don't give a fuck. Why am I doing this? Why am I putting my life on the line? Out of this whole conversation, you've already said that you're terrified to go back to work. And all the reasons you said that you have the job, you can do without the job. There's so much you can do, to the point where having the uniform and the badge holds you back. And you touched on morals, because morality is a funny thing. Morality is one of my favorite things.
Everybody has a different moral, and no one's ever aligned with each other's.
It's not just that. People's morality changes depending on the fucking wind. Or if they want to be right in a situation or not. Because, like... or even when they're driven. When they're hurt. When they're scared. Because, you know, morally right. Back in the day. You know, even, well, you're still a cop now, but, you know. Like 5 years ago under the other government, yourself, Ziggy, cop, you know. To most people, straight arrow, good cops, probably one of the good ones, right? But that morality was definitely tested when you both bought a car bomb to kill another cop, one of your own.
You're right.
Or when when Rue and Ziggy, who both made decisions, one decision to choose this life, but then hit with, you know, a very civilian, honest way of looking at things. Like, what if, you know, something happens? What if you guys end up, you know, shooting each other? Someone gets hurt. Coming from the person who was in Hydra 5 years ago, who's had people killed on her behalf. It's baffling to me where people pull this morality out of, because it must be out of their ass, right? Or, you know, one of the straightest arrows of them all. You know, Rhodes. I've a decent amount of respect for Rhodes. You know, I'm sure he's a fantastic cop. But even him, I definitely question his morality. I would question anybody's morality if they were the undersheriff to Carl Pred.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think that that man was actually one of the best sheriffs we ever had. At least in the eyes of me. What does that say about my morality? Because you're not wrong.
For the most part, Flop, morality is a waste of time. There's lines in the sands of probably things that you shouldn't do, and that's your own thing. But like to throw what ifs at people out of morality that they've pulled out of their ass because they've got selective memory, right? That's a piss take. If anyone ever questioned me for my choice of life when I know their skeletons in their closet hang just as high as mine, I wouldn't be happy. What I'd be even less happy about is if that was put in the forefront of my club members' minds daily or weekly, and that stress, that constant thing in the forefront of mind, because they can't change that, right? Nobody in my club can make the decisions like, you know, I don't want to put on my cut today. I'm not going to go to work. They can't do that. So, what person with good morals would throw what ifs at people and throw that kind of stress onto someone's mind when that person knows that they can't do anything to change that?
The same people who see the wind, like you said.
You know, the people who do have a choice, because as much as you know, all of us live our in this club live our life the way we choose to, regardless of what laws govern around us, right? Some of us are morally better than others, some of us, you know, but a lot of the club do very good. A lot of my club help the city tick over the way that it does. A lot of people get on with my club day to day. And the people who do have a choice, Flop, are people like you. Because you make a decision every day whether you go to work or not.
Mm.
Every day you decide morally is, you know, is this what I want to do? And for you, yeah, you know, I don't think I question your morals on like what you want to do. But you're going into a cesspit of people who have so much shit Their morals are all, maybe they don't even exist. There's definitely cops on that force with no morals. And they will do whatever the fuck they want, and you will reap all the rewards of their stupidity.
Yeah.
So do you want to waste your second shot on that? Really?
I don't. And I think that's where my indecision is at, John. I think I know what I want for myself. And I hope you know, in the same value that you've trusted me with something so valuable to you, that you will take my word for face value and know that I believe I've made up my mind and that I just need time.
Yeah, I can
Because you're
understand
right.
that. Yeah. I hope I never see you in a uniform again, Flop. Not many people get second chances.
I won't make empty promises. But if you did, I am not the same me. I can't be after what happened. And just know that that time is not permanent. You have my word on that.
I can't not point out the contradiction.
I know.
Saying, you know, draw parallels, you're saying, even all of them saying you're a good cop, but yet you still got attacked by a mountain lion. Yeah, by all means, go back, put the uniform on, and you're a different person. You're still gonna end up the same way. Because you'll die knowing that. No one else will. I might. But what does that mean? But when I die, I know I will have died for something I believe in. I will die, and I will have built a legacy with someone I believe in. With people that I believe in. I will die proud. When my time comes. However big my club gets. I know I'll be remembered and I'll be honored. If you put that uniform back on and your time comes, that's not going to happen to you. I'll remember you. I'll go to your grave. So will your family. But you put that uniform back on, you leave nothing else. Because that uniform doesn't stand for the same uniform you wore before. Green one probably meant something. That definitely did if a gang member made up, talked about it and you haven't worn it in how long? That uniform meant something. So think about what you want to die in. And what legacy you want to leave. And if you'll be happy with it. Not just appeasing some people's made up morality.
You give me that time. And I promise you, this second chance at life will not be wasted.
Right. We'll see.
Thank you for everything that you've done for me.
Yeah, don't mention it.
I won't. But as long as you know. I'm gonna call Rue back, so she's not worried.
Alright. I'll probably leave you up here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mm.
Thank you again.
Time's ticking, Flop. Doesn't stop. Oh my god, we in the blanket. You know what we do now, chat, right? This is our next order of business. Now we swap over to Tig and we question his morality from the others. Hey, Flop said, Flop called Sean and was ready for a conversation, so he got fucking the 2 barrels and the fucking